In my role at MIT, I've been privileged to meet lots of fascinating people who come into MIT, and some of those people have been chief technology officers. And that's very much the sort of intersection of the research I've done around product development and management of innovation with prioritization, portfolio selection, roles that happen out in industry. And a lot of that gets done by chief technology officers. So with this question of what do we do with our research portfolio inside the firm, how do we think about investing in different technologies, we actually got into a line of research that was, who are CTOs? I think there's a lot of buzz about other sort of C-suite roles in the sense of, you know, who's your CFO? Do you trust your CFO? What's your CFO's background? You know, dominated by CEOs and the mentality study of CEOs. Is it the 5 a.m. wake up that really made you successful as a CEO? This feels like I read that every 3 years in the Harvard Business Review. But as a professional class, I was sort of interested in who are these people who are chief technology officers. And I think there were a couple of priors that we went into this research with, thinking that CTOs were more likely to be lifers in the firm, you know, that sort of grew up through engineering or technology roles and sort of topped out their career after a 30-year tenure as, you know, as sort of directing what work would be done within the firm. And so together with a graduate student of mine, Jean-Michel Poulet-Leplat, we did a whole study of who are CTOs. We did a broad-based survey of some 500 CTOs. We did a bunch of detailed interviews with a set of 20 CTOs who were actually MIT alums, try and understand, is this a professional role or is this a terminal role? You know, what makes it tick? So what we learned in that process was the average CTO has had 5 or 6 jobs over their career. This is not a sort of old school, lived at one company my whole career type of role. However, you do not tend to see a professional status for CTOs in the sense of they do not tend to migrate between industries as you might expect a CEO or a CFO to migrate. For example, recently the head of corporate communications at BP was hired at Disney, right? That's a professional transition. We don't tend to see that from a CTO perspective because the domain knowledge is central to this role. But then getting further into it, we realize there's really 2 big categories of CTOs. There's the sort of CTO as founder type of role from a startup perspective, and there's the CTO as sort of portfolio manager role in the Fortune 500 size companies. And those are really quite different. So you can think about like Bobby Murphy at Snap. What was Bobby Murphy's role in, you know, building Snap, in sort of organizing the technical team and trying to set technical culture? How is that different from a CTO of 3M or CTO of BMW in terms of the portfolio of technologies they might be betting on, be it different chemicals or, you know, different types of hybrid technology, et cetera. So as part of this work, we've worked to try and define personas for those really sort of 2 categories of CTOs. We've worked to try and understand what are the central roles that they play. Is it more about corporate culture? Is it more about hiring? Is it more about advocacy for the firm's position in the market? And also trying to understand what makes CTOs successful in their jobs.